Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV on the PC. Last time we dealt with the Warriors of Darkness. Everyone ended up winning pretty much. Everyone was satisfied. Except, you know, we sort of lost Minfilia in the process. We had already kind of lost her. Now we lost her a bit more, but there's still hope that she'll come back someday. The Scions, the Seventh Dawn, are back together, back in business. We're sort of a free-form organization, I guess. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, but that's okay. Let's talk to Tataru. Tidings from GRIDANIA. Ah, Mangg, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. The Diamond Forge. All right. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Okay. Right, everyone? Ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you may want to close your eyes. Uh-oh. What the fuck? What the hell was she smashing? Oh my god, they beat the shit out of me. Oh. They are all finished. The Warrior of Light's every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe. It couldn't have been that much to measure. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Mangg. All in good time. Haha, found you. Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Come on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as Commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice, though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Y'shtola! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault BAELSAR'S wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in ISHGARD. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Kryl. I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Gridania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
All right. I'm glad that, like, I'm entrusted with something on my own. You know, I'm not like just a lapdog that go alongs with Alphino to go see, you know, to go one of the leaders along with them. You know, I was treated like a competent member of the team. Oh boy. Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to ISHGARD? I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emmerich. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. ISHGARD will of course send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handeloop that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Mangg, pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. As long as I get paid, baby. An envoy for ISHGARD. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Okay. There's probably just a faster way to do this. No, not the broom. Yeah, maybe just going here and then running south. That's probably faster than going to Dragon Head and flying over. Oh, especially because I have Peloton. Super run speed. Here you have it. We meet again. As it happens, my counterparts in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as ISHGARD's envoy. Not, I concede, that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Alrighty. Garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Mangg? You may see a familiar face. Mangg, old boy. How wonderful to see you. And Sir Emmerich, too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Anawa. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel in the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. How is that not the Imperial salute? Surprised to see yours truly at the helm. You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt, and with a little help from the veterans and Anawa's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you. Alright, moving right along. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when at first I laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. An allied decision. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Yeah, and they just leave old Mangg standing there like a dumbass. He doesn't get to go along. He doesn't get to walk with them. He must stay. Stay put, dog. God damn it. envoy from ISHGARD is here. Very good. This way if you put... Ah, and the Luminson party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Mangg, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Master Mangg, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing scions have now been found. Not. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of GRIDANIA. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold BAELSAR'S wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force, and the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. ISHGARD's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift. There is much to be done.
It's always bullshit going down.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich. Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alizé, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Mangg for serving as our escort before other duties called him away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Ugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered ISHGARD support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seeds here to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to ISHGARD. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Ugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papalymo and Ida fared in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at BAELSAR'S wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones, anon. Alright. Then we'll head back to Revenant's Toll. Welcome back, Mangg. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. We got heavenly eggnog. They like the eggnog here. Wildwood scrambled egg, more scrambled eggs, and spaghetti carbonara. This all seems pretty familiar. Go with the eggnog. And, oh, that was a coffee. Eggnog. There you go. Griffin on the wall. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Ah, you are returned from the council. But what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryl, how's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tataru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision. Each of the nations, ISHGARD included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously... One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath BAELSAR'S wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kryl and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you levelers? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Mangg? Gridania will be safer for your presence. And, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well. I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. Yeah, that's literally Tataru's job. That is her entire job. If you have unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorne hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of BAELSAR'S wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. I ain't got shit to do. Let's go. Ah, Mangg, there you are. Come. Amarisse's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaken. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Yeah, I don't like that Alphino has the most lines of any character in the game, and yet he doesn't just have, like, a normal voice. Why couldn't he just have, like, this voice? That would be perfect. I mean, at least his voice doesn't, like, hurt my throat or anything, but... Ugh. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You'll find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind him why we bother. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. It is heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Not anymore. Port. What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible. We gave no such order. Of course. The wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If these uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Mangg, we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the 2 of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that Hilda is the best girl in the game, I think. So far. I don't know anybody that really tops her. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. Alright, I didn't even know there was a giant wall here. Oh. Okay. Right, he's right here. I was so enraptured by the wall. From what Papalimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have 2 objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way. But the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. It definitely feels sometimes like they just have like a quota for dialogue that they need to hit with like every patch and every expansion. Like if they don't have enough dialogue, they will add more until they hit their quota. Because I feel like this whole scenario could have just been like, we got to get the fuck in there. Okay, let's get the fuck in there. Done. I mean, obviously a little bit more than that, but everything always seems so long-winded, you know? And like Final Fantasy Tactics, which to me has the best writing of any video game ever. That's not long-winded. That's not a long-winded game. It just has the right amount, and it's good. Alright, so we're switching to Scholar, of course. Let's read about this dungeon, BAELSAR'S Wall. 3 bosses. First boss is very simple. Second boss, group-wide AoE. Damages oneself for any actions taken while the debuff is active, including movement. Okay. So if you get this debuff, don't do anything. Adds, AoEs, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Third boss, room-wide AoE. Flash powder, turn away from the boss. Room-wide AoE. Swords you have to kill. Okay, he's going to restrain me at some point because I'm the healer. When he casts Lion's Head, kill the sword in the middle and stand in the now vacant space. Okay. Sounds all simple. Let us do it to it. So many dungeons in this game, man. So many dungeons. Alrighty, we have a samurai, a machinist, and a paladin tank. Wow, that's pretty loud. Hold on. Who is making those sounds? There's definitely a Lalafell. Oh, yeah. Our machinist. With a very anime voice. Oh, my God. Alright, I got you. I got you. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You're fine. No, I still can't use excogitate until we get to Stormblood. This Lalafell, goddamn. Because the machinist constantly makes noises for some reason. AoE, AoE, AoE. AoE, AoE. It'll be cool one day to not have the little sprout symbol next to my name. Yeah, and yes, I know I can remove it at any time, but that's not the point. It'll be cool to one day not be a newbie. Well, I wouldn't say we have a pro samurai. This little anime Lalafell is blasting away, though. Shit. I got you. Sucker. Do more damage. There we go. What do we got here? Filibuster's Belt of Maiming. Of course. What does that even mean? What does that title mean? Filibuster's Belt of Maiming. Nope, vendor gear is still better. AoE, 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 AoE. Yeah, all these story dungeons, pretty simple. Especially now. Got all these level 80s running them or whatever. I don't know if this guy's 80. No, he's wearing 60 gear. He must be around 60. Hey-wee, hey-wee. And the thing is, like, once you get to this point, the XP from killing stuff stops scaling. So, like, 1 through 50 or so, the XP you get from killing mobs from dungeons just keeps going up and up and up, and it's always, like, fantastic. But past that point, it stops scaling. So it stays at, like, 3,000 or so per kill, which, when I need 5.3 million to level up, is nothing. So really, it's all about just finishing dungeons and mostly just doing the roulettes every day. So the roulettes are the really big thing, which is interesting because it's kind of like, it's not that you can't level constantly, but really you're better off just like, well, no, I mean, doing stuff constantly will always give you more XP, but the most efficient XP is only a few activities once per day. So you can just log in for, you know, a couple hours, do all those, and that's the most efficient per hour. So it's not like a cap or anything. You can keep doing dungeons, you can do other activities, but the roulettes are big. So I do all of those every day. I really love the main scenario one. I can see why some people would hate it, but it's such an easy thing to AFK that you only have to click back into Final Fantasy every once in a while. There's so many cutscenes. It's just great to do work in the background, or do work in the foreground while that's going on in the background. It's just like free XP, basically. And you get work done. Okay, so this is the debuff where you don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything. Oh, you did something. All right, we're good. Another reason why I prefer my Astrologian to the Scholar is because the Astrologian has Renew. It has abilities that can just slap a Renew on people, and for a lot of fights in dungeons, especially boss fights, the tank does not take that much damage. And so all you have to do is slap the Renew, and they'll heal. They'll stay healed, and you can just focus on damage. I mean, yeah, they don't take much damage, so I don't have to do that much healing on Scholar, but it tends to be more than the Fairy can handle. The Fairy is not a Renew. It's just that it's never seemed that good. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just looking for reasons to like the Astrologian. And the Scholar, you know, one of the main gimmicks of the Scholar is that they have the bubbles. You know, they can shield people, but Astrologian gets that as well. You know, they can switch between Renews or bubbles. So they're really just, I don't know, I feel like they're the most interesting healers. So if I can get my astrologian up to the proper level, we might just do like dungeons as the astrologian, out, you know, other fights with the dancer, and then just hand in quests as the scholar. Maybe that'll be the way we do it. I feel like that would get on my nerves after like 100 hours or so. I mean, Mangg's voice, if you ever hear it, it's surprisingly deep. Because I didn't actually pick a voice, I just randomized everything. Bill and Buster's Ring of Slain. Never saw that in D&D. Alright, Griffin. So kill the sword in the middle, stand in the vacant space. When he moves, he leaps. And then he does a cleave in front of him, so you want to watch out for that. And if he casts Flash Powder, you want to turn around. Oh, shit. I probably should have predicted that. But I told you, any character wearing a mask, it's someone you know.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you like this?
Oh shit, Flash Powder. Fuck, I was spun my camera. God damn it. God damn it to hell.
Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah.
I should probably remove this. It's gonna wear off anyways. Fuck it. I'll be lazy.
For Alamigo!
Alright, Lion's Head.
I have you now.
Ah.
Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah!
Get out of there. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Sloppy.
Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, Indomitability. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Alright, he's gonna lock me up now. Hopefully they free me.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
good. Alright, that's an easy one.
Sloppy.
I see why the guy said in chat, sloppy time.
Yeah.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Ja. Sloppy. For al amigo!
Oh, God. Oh, are we gonna kill him? Are we gonna kill him?
I have you now.
Oh, we got him. Nice. Gilbert, you dumbass. You went up against the Warrior of Light. You fool. You fool. I mean, yeah, I've got 270 shit. No commendations. What the fuck is happening to this world? This world's going to hell in a handbasket.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
We did it! We showed the bastards!
Oh.
Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Al Amigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
War machines.
How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
Like Wild Wild West.
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What are we thinking? The Empire's too big, too powerful. mighty Rhalgr. Grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Ilberd, I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Al Amigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power.
Oh yes, I know their limitations, which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all! Ah!
That sound effect was maybe a little poor taste.
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Ah, Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tiptimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalimo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave!
Quite right! Quickly now, off you go! The further away, the better!
No! If you're staying, then so am I!
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this! Take her! Please, you have to take her!
Oh.
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Sure, I'll go. I'm just a scholar.
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Damn, dude. This game, at this point, man, they've got shit figured out, man. Just epic moments, one after another. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo's my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what he had to be done. Master Louis wore that same look right before the end. You think I don't know that? I know, all right, I know. There's nothing more you could have done. Hilbert caught us all off guard. Even Mangg was powerless to stop him. You must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalymo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Alright, let's just finish the patch. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Yeah, I mean, I liked Papalymo. He was a Lalafell. I like every Lalafell. One of us. And he went out like a badass, no doubt. But it seems like another character we could sort of just write off. Like Horsefan. I don't know if Papalymo's coming back from that one. Maybe. But Louis Swan never came back. It's not like this is Dragon Ball Z where we just wish him back or something. Would seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye. Behind the griffin's mask, we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power used to initiate a summoning ritual, even as we looked on. Why the 12? I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papalymo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the Sea of Clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind-aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian. But now is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it, then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alisaie, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilbert's accursed creation without delay. What time was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Alright, school's out forever. Take a look. The finest pupil's ally. Alright, that's a little too specific to a story. Alright, so that was patch 3.5. All that's left is 3.56, which is only 4 quests, and then we start Stormblood. So I assume we'll have some idea of what Stormblood is in the next video. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe just suddenly Stormblood will start and be like, hey, let's go the fuck over here, alright? Alright, cool. My name is Mangg. Game you're watching has been Final Fantasy XIV. See you fine folks in the next part.